Hello and welcome to today's flow called Rooted Rise. This is a great practice to do in the morning before the busyness of the day takes hold. The practice is designed to connect you to a deeper state of calmness so that you feel grounded as you begin the day. So we are going to start in the shape of the crocodile. So you might place a folded blanket right across the center of the mat. This will support your hips in the crocodile shape and also support your knees in the table pose. You're going to bring your body down. Lower belly and hip bones will be placed onto the blanket. You can stack your hands, rest your forehead onto your stacked palms. As you arrive, you might take a few moments to bend your knees so that your heels drop in toward the buttocks. And then take some side to side sways with the lower legs, creating a gentle twisting motion in the pelvis and in the back, a little bit up into the ribs. Okay, and then you'll let the feet come down to the mat and just sway your hips from right to left. Eventually finding stillness in the center. Take a deep and full inhalation. Exhale, maybe even a soft sigh out through the mouth. Take another 1 to 2 cycles of breath here. After this next exhalation, you're going to slide your hands underneath of your lower chest. You're going to be pressing up through table to transition to Balasana, child's pose. You're going to lift the hips up, walk the knees forward so that they land on the blanket. Take your knees wide, bring your big toes closer touching, and then let your hips start to sink back toward the heels. We're going to take the arms, we're going to stretch them out by the ears. So more of an active child's pose, hands anchored down, wrists, forearms, elbows lifted. Using the press of the hands down to the earth to help you release your pelvis toward your heels. We'll take a side stretching child's pose now by walking the hands over to the right so that you can stretch out nice and long through the left side of the body. You can bend your right elbow if you like and anchor the right hand. This is also going to put a little bit of pressure on the ascending colon, which is on the right side of the abdomen. So notice the compression on the right and the openness on the left, paying attention to the spaces between your ribs on the left side of the body and the openness in the left underarm. Last exhale here. We're going to inhale, walk through the center and take a journey over to the left now, stretching out through the right arm Maybe bend the left elbow, anchor the left hand, compressing now the descending colon on the left side of the body, compressing on the left to create openness and space on the right. Notice the spaces between the ribs. Last cycle of breath here. Inhale, walk the hands back to the center. Take your last exhalation here in the center. And then we'll use the next breath in to rock the pelvis up. We're going to come up into table. So from table, just check in with your knees. You want to slide them back in underneath of your hips, grounding into the right hand. We're going to inhale and let this left arm sweep up to the sky. Open the heart to the left. Exhale, dive the left hand between the right hand and the right knee. So we're going to take a thread, the needle twist. We're going to move dynamically in and out of this. So as you take your next breath in, let's sweep that left arm back up toward the sky. Open through the center of the chest. Exhale, dive the left hand between the right hand and knee. Come down to the left ear. Let's take that one more time. Take a breath in, left arm sweeps to the sky, and exhale, left arm sweeps through. Now this time, we're going to have an option to hold. So if it feels good to keep dynamically moving, feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're just going to hold here for a moment. You also have the option of letting the weight shift into the left knee, extending through the right knee with the right toes still connected to the mat, like a kickstand. So this will continue to open around the left shoulder blade, upper back region. But it brings a little more activation into the core and brings an extra emphasis on balance. Let's hold here for another round of breath. As your exhalation completes, you can lower that right knee down if it is lifted. Breathe in. Re-extend the left arm to the sky one more time. And exhale, let your left hand find the mat. So one cycle of cat-cow here in the center before the second side. So inhale, let the navel release to the mat. Lift up through your heart and your chin. And then exhale, press your hands. Begin to round through the spine, opening across the shoulder blades. Inhale, come to neutral. Inhalation, right arm sweeps to sky. Turn the heart and exhale. Right arm dives down between the left hand and knee. Thread the needle. Inhale as that right arm sweeps back up to the sky. Exhale, dive the arm through. One more time that way. Inhale, extend the right arm to the sky. And exhale, dive the arm through. Now we'll have the option to hold. So know that you can continue to move dynamically in and out if that works better for your body. Otherwise, holding right as you are or shifting into the right knee, extending the left knee fully, and then taking the left toes to the earth. Left leg becomes like a kickstand, assisting you in balance. Notice the extra engagement across the abdominals, the rotation through the ribs, and the openness around your right shoulder blade. Okay, last exhalation. Let's lower that left knee down to the mat. Take a breath in. Sweep the right arm up to the sky one more time. And exhale, right hand comes down. One cat-cow here in the center. Breathe in, release the belly, and lift through the heart. Exhale, press the hands and round through the spine. Breathe in, release the belly and lift through the heart. Exhale to curl the toes under. Lift the knees, come into downward dog. So we're going to do a few times alternating between down dog and table with a cow tilt. So as you take your next breath in, we'll lower the knees back down. Release the belly, lift through the heart. Rooting through the hands, curl the toes, engage the core. Lift the hips up, downward dog. Feel the rooting of the hands. Give rise to the sitting bones to sky. Again, inhale, lower the knees. Release the belly and lift the heart. Exhale, curl the toes and send the sitting bones skyward. One more time that way. Inhale, lower the knees. Release the belly and lift the heart. Exhale, curl the toes. Sitting bones reach up, downward dog. Now we'll hold in down dog and pedal out through the feet and knees. Deep inhalation and full, complete exhalation. At any time, feel free to release those exhalations out through the mouth with a soft and slow sigh. Those soft and slow sighs out through the mouth help to emphasize exhalation, and the exhalation connects into the parasympathetic nervous system response, which is the rest and relaxation response in the nervous system. All right. Find stillness and take one last breath. Let's shift now into the right ball of the foot. Send the left heel up into downward dog split. And then as you exhale, let's curl that left knee into the chest. We're going to set the left foot by the left wrist and take the back right knee down. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Take a breath in, big circle sweep of the arms, wide and up, coming into that extended shape with the arms and feeling the grounding of the lower body. Activate through the center of your palms and spread through your fingers. Take a breath in. Exhale, let your hands come down. Frame your left foot, curl your right toes under, lift your right knee. We're going to spin the right heel down, preparing to rise into reverse warrior. So circle the right arm around, pass through warrior two, left palm faces the sky, right hand to the right thigh, or loop the right arm around the low back. Continue to reach the left knee forward, left arm by the left ear, open through the ribs. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let's start to pass through warrior two. Let's start to straighten the left knee. You're going to come into Utthita Trikonasana, the extended triangle. So send the left hand down to the left shin bones, right arm up to the sky. Maybe look down at your left foot. Tuck the low front floating ribs in toward one another and expand through the heart, through the arms. Take a breath in. Exhale, let's let the hands come down. Frame the left foot, spin the right heel, high lunge. Step the left foot back into downward facing dog. Now feel free, hold here in downward facing dog for 2 breaths or lift your heels high. Roll your hips out into plank pose, and with the knees up or knees down, let's lower down to the chest, ribs, belly. Untuck the toes and inhale, curl the heart up. Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. Exhale, downward dog. Feel free to go table to down dog. Take a breath. Maybe inhale through the nose, exhale, soft sigh it out through the mouth. All right, shifting now into the left ball of the foot. Inhale, send your right heel up, downward dog split. Exhale as you curl your right knee. Shift your weight now into the left ball of the foot. Inhale, send your right heel into down dog split. Exhale, curl your right knee into the chest. Step the right foot to the right wrist. Take the back left knee down. Low lunge. We're rising up. Arms circle sweep. Arms extend by the ears. So you want to feel your right heel and your left knee energetically drawing a bit toward one another. You'll feel that create a lot of stabilization in your legs, and it will also help to take the tailbone slightly down. Reach through your fingertips, take a breath in. Exhale, let your hands come down to frame your right foot. Curl your left toes under, lift your left knee. We're going to spin that left heel down. We're going to rise up into reverse warrior. So your left arm is going to sweep around. You're going to find warrior two and then flip that right palm to the sky. Left hand to the left thigh, or let the arm wind around the low back. Right knee will reach forward, right arm by the ear, open through the ribs. One more inhalation here. Now, as you're exhaling, we'll start to pass through warrior two. The right knee is going to bend. Our right knee is going to straighten, rather. So you're going to start to hinge out into Utthita Trikonasana. So that right hand is going to come down to the shin bones. Left arm is going to reach up to the sky. Maybe looking down at the right foot. And then feel your lowest ribs on the front of the body draw toward one another. This will create a lot of stabilization across the core of the body, and then expand out through the arms and out through the legs. Another breath in. So exhale, start to bend the right knee. You're going to frame the right foot, spin off the left heel, step the right foot back into downward facing dog. Feel free, hold here for 2 breaths, or lift your heels, roll your hips out, come into plank, knees up or knees down. Exhale, begin to bend the elbows and lower down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, lift the heart, anchor the feet. Exhale, downward dog or table to downward dog. Okay, hold for a moment. Okay. Take your last breath in and out here. Start to lift your heels, look forward. You're going to bend your knees, and you can walk or you can take a light hop up to the front of the mat. We're going to stay here in the forward fold. So if you have that blanket, you might reach to the blanket, drag the blanket closer to you, fold the blanket in half. You're going to take Malasana, the garland. So you can take your feet wide, let your heels land on the mat, toes spin out. Feet can be a little wider. And then you're going to drop your hips down into garland. Prayer hands can come up to your heart. Take your chin, slightly bow it forward. And feel the press of the hands together. And there's this feeling of pressing outward with the tricep region into the inner knees, but then the inner knees gently hug back into the backs of the upper arms. Take another cycle of breath here. Energetically, this pose encourages Apanavayu, which is the downward flow of energy. So this is a great pose for elimination, but energetically, it's also very grounding and stabilizing. Take a breath in. And then as you're exhaling, let's take the hands down. Let's start to lift the hips up, and we're going to bring the feet off of the blanket support. Bring the feet underneath of the hips and fold into the legs. On your next inhalation, soften your knees, reverse your swan dive, and rise up into extended mountain. Let's take the right hand to the right thigh and take a side stretch over. Take a breath in and return the body to the center, and then exhale, left hand to left thigh, side stretch the other way. And then we're going to inhale, come to the center. At the top, see if it feels okay to interlock the hands and send the index fingers up to the sky. We're going to lift the heels and take a balance now on the balls of the feet. Ground down through the bases of the big toes. That will help to reduce that outer ankle wobbling. Lengthen the tailbone slightly down and feel the biceps hug in a bit toward your ears as your index fingers stretch high. Stay rooted through the feet and rising upward through the crown of the head and the index fingers. One more breath in. Exhale, let your heels come back down, meet the mat. Take one more breath in. Exhale, soften the knees and swan dive the body forward over the legs. Inhale as you take a halfway lift with your spine. Exhale as you plant the hands. You're going to step your feet back, downward facing dog. You have two options here. You could either move the blanket out of the way, or you can unfold the blanket so that when we make our way back down to the belly, you have that support there. So just whatever you want to do, just take a second to shift your blanket, unfold it to its original shape, or just get rid of it altogether. And find your down dog. Breathe in and out. And then let your heels lift nice and high. We're going to come back out into that plank one last time. Exhale, bend the elbows and lower down to the chest and ribs. This time we're going to take Shalabhasana, the locust. So let's take the hands and keep them tucked underneath of the low chest initially. So we're rooting through the belly. So lengthen the tailbone down. You'll feel your lower belly anchored to the mat just a bit, and let that anchoring start to lift the chest, float the legs. So for extra support for your back, stay here with your hands on the mat, but then you can always hover the hands or extend them open to the sides of the room. So you feel the anchoring in the core of the body, helping you to rise through the heart, legs, and arms. Take another round of breath. All right, and then we're gonna bring the body back in. So you can stack your hands, fold back in, pull your heels into the buttocks, and maybe give a little sway of the legs right to left. Maybe a circular motion. Take your feet toward the mat, swing them around to one side, heels to the buttocks, and out to the opposite side. Maybe do 2 circles each direction. And then we'll pause. We'll take a half frog for just a few moments on each side. So you just roll a little to the right, bend your left knee, slide it toward your left elbow, turn your head to the left, and then just let your body relax for a few breaths here. Okay, last exhalation on this side. Then you'll slide your left leg back out, roll a little to the left. Take your right knee, bend it, slide it up toward your right elbow, turn your head to the right. Ardha Bakasana, the half frog, second side. Last round of breath here. Extend your right leg out. Come to the center. Maybe sway your hips from side to side a time or two. And then just let your body release and relax here. The earth element represents cohesion, stability, and resilience. So as you feel your front body connected to the earth, just feel yourself settling in to the earth and inviting those same qualities into your body, your mind, your nervous system. So have this feeling of integration, stability, and resilience, this capacity to be transformed by our life experiences. We'll take a final minute here. Okay, friends, at your home, please feel free, stay here for as long as you like. If you feel ready to transition, let's slide the hands underneath of the low chest. Press your body up through table, and just for a moment, send your pelvis back towards your heels, child's pose. Come up through the table, swing your legs around, cross leg shape. Prayer hands together at the heart as you sit tall, slight bow, the chin forward. Thank you for taking the time to practice alongside me today. The light within me bows to that same light that exists within you. Thank you.